Just bang my laptop on now, see if I can, so I can read the chat. According to this, I'm live, but my laptop hasn't caught up. And it's trying to show me an advert, God bless it. Who's there? Right, we've got one person in the house. Who is that one person? Pray tell. And is the sound okay? And can you hear the pack of wolves howling outside? Only one person in the house? Come on now, we can do better than that, surely, surely. This could be a very short live at this rate. Oh, two. My faith in humanity is starting to be resurrected. Who do we have? Who are these two people? In the words of Delia Smith, let's be having ya. I don't know what to do if no one talks to me. A bit like Marcel Marceau, I do a bit of mime. I don't think that would get much of an audience. Here we go. Hey, Christensen is in the house. Hello, and he's got the #1 badge. Hello, mate, how are you? Please be quiet, doggy. Thank you for joining us. I think you're new, aren't you? I don't recall seeing your name before. Welcome. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess with a name like that, you're either Danish or Norwegian. 2 likes. What more could a man want? Who else is in the house? Guessing that's Niles, the N13LS. 4 in the house. Like cheese and ham, we're on a roll. I tell you what, this dog is turning out to be the most irritating animal I have known in my life. You let him out, he wants to come back in again. You let him in, he wants to go back out again. You put him there, he goes there. Just go to sleep, for God's sake. If he carries on like this, I'm going to punish him later. I'm going to take him and make him watch the England game at midnight. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But you've been warned, mate. You've been warned. Danish, of Danish heritage. Thought it must be Danish or possibly Norwegian. I'm guessing if you say Danish heritage, you're not living in Denmark. Where in the world are you from, mate? I'm American in Arizona, USA. Well, there you go. You preempted my question. You answered it already. Now that is quick thinking. That is very impressive. What's the time in Arizona now? I tell you what, I'm glad you're here, Niels, because there's no one else. I'd just be talking to myself if it wasn't you, mate. I am forever in your debt. Timmy Wimmy, greetings everyone. My God, Tim, where have you been? It's been months. I thought you'd forsaken us. Have you been off travelling the world on your yacht or something? John Mesters, hey mate, how you doing? That's Big John, famous John from my recent interview. Soon to be Mayor of Dumagetti from the comments. Joe's in the house as well. Good evening, Simon. Joe's coming up on the next interview. Evening, Joe. John Mesters, we're still at the Octagon. Still at the Octagon now, 7 o'clock. What, has Kai Kai made it to the finals or something? Well, don't rush off. Stay there a few more hours and I'll see you over there. Explain why you're still there. Oh, by the way, John, if you can hear me, someone messaged me and asked for your private, well, it's in the comments. They want your private contact details so they can get in touch with you to discuss a bit of business. Of course, I said no. But I said I'd let you know they'd left a message. So look at the comments. If you want to touch base with this guy, it's there for you. Niels Christensen, my wife and children are in Calasiao, Pangasinan, Philippines. We have 2 children and 1 on the way. Well, congratulations on the 1 on the way. I think I butchered that pronunciation there, but I never claimed to be a font of all knowledge when it came to pronouncing Philippines names. So you're separated, are you? You're married, but you still live in the States, or you work in the States, or you're on holiday, or what? Timmy Wimmy, nope. Anchored on River Medina on the Isle of Wight. Will sail the Baltic in September. I didn't know there was a river in Medina, in the Isle of Wight. There you go, you live and learn. I knew there was a funky cold Medina, but never heard of the River Medina. Timmy Wimmy, I have 4 little boys, LOL. Do you? Are they red and white? I want to know why people... I'm guessing Joe's still at the Octagon then, if John is. What's going on over there? Niles, I was going to retire and move there. However, we found out our social security benefits require her to live in the US for 5 years before she is eligible. Wow. John Mesters, I might come out to see the game tonight. KK is winning. Get out, mate. Get out. Get yourself out. Come on, Holland's gone. Support England. I was 50-50 whether I was going to go, but if I know someone's going, I'll definitely go down. I've got to go down, haven't I? I've missed all the other games. I go through stages. 1 minute I'm like, yeah, I'm going. God, I don't know why. I'm exhausted today. I'm so tired. And I've done nothing. Getting old. I need more vitamins. Right, let's go back to what Niels was saying. I was going to retire and move there. However, we found out that social security benefits require her to live in the US for 5 years before she's eligible. Okay, I'm confused. I get she's got to live in America for 5 years before she's eligible. But if she's in the Philippines, how will she ever become eligible? Or was she living in the States? I don't get it. Please expand. I apologise for my ignorance. Timmy, they are as orange as Donald Trump. So basically they're high-vis, mate. High-vis orange boys. We have 8 in the house. So is it the final yet, John? We've got quite a new hat, quite a new crowd tonight. I seem to have lost all my regulars, which is, you know, it's a changeover and all that, the changing of the guard. But Timmy's been here from the beginning, but John and Joe are quite new. Niels is incredibly new. Where's everyone else? Have I offended people without knowing it? I don't consciously offend subscribers. I don't consciously offend anyone. Maybe they're all going to jump out in a minute and say, surprise. Or maybe they've just got bored. You couldn't blame them, could you? Timmy Wimmy, England will win tonight but lose in the next round, probably to Mexico, according to my crystal balls. Oh, have you got crystal balls, mate? I would go to the doctor. They can do wonders these days with medical science. I wouldn't want crystal balls. Keka Topic, hey hello Keka, it's been a long time since you've been here, mate. Welcome back to the party. Niles Christensen, she needs to live in the US for 5 years before she becomes eligible to receive my survivor benefits when I die. Okay. And how long has she actually lived in the States, or has she not been there yet? Survivor benefits. I don't think we have them in the UK. Not with state pensions, I don't think. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I've never really looked into that. I know your private pension, you can... you know, nominate a beneficiary and it goes there. Not sure what happens with a state pension. I assume there must be some situation if you're married. Niles Christensen, I'm actually not that new. I've been on your live stream in the past. What? I do apologise, mate. I do apologise if that's the case. It's the NI3LS bit I don't recognise. It's the Niles bit. That's confused me. You weren't the guy who offered to be a moderator, are you, who I contacted? Is that you? Anyway, I'm sorry about that. I've got a terrible memory for everything, but the names go up and down, so I do get confused because I've got so many different names. John Mesters, hard to hear you here, mate. Too much noise here. Well, that's cool. As long as my microphones are working. Don't worry about it, John. Hopefully catch you later, brother. The band can get quite noisy at the Octagon. I don't know why they bother with it, but there you go. Well, I shouldn't say that. I know a couple of people who play in the band. Timmy Wimmy, I have a friend who has a court case looming in BGC. A lawyer called Mark De Leon stole all condo belongings of his tenant, Paul Ross of UK. Not the Paul Ross, surely not. Okay, so the lawyer stole all condo belongings. A criminal lawyer who really is a criminal, that's no good. Bang! Jack Star is in the house, he has kicked the door open. Thank you so much, brother. As I always say, no need to do it, but when you do it, it is greatly appreciated. Thank you, Jack. How are you, mate? What is the word on the street in the UK? And how is your back? We didn't ask you that last week. Niels Christensen, yes, that's me. There you go. I do remember you, Neil. I got the Niels bit now. I think it just confused me, the NI3LS. But that was a long time ago, wasn't it? I think the last time I spoke to you in the feed would have been just around Christmas time, wouldn't it? So like 6 months ago. So I forgive myself for forgetting. I do apologise though, mate. Welcome back. Jack Star, hey buddy, how is everyone? Hit the like, share the love. I like your style, Jack. I like your style. 13 people, only 7 likes. I'm sure we can do better than that. Although, you know, I don't want to knock it. 7 is better than none. So look at that, Jack. You arrive and the figures start going up. Well, I'm good. Christian, unfortunately, has got some difficulties with his pension. Timmy seems good. He's moored up on the River Medina. John's girlfriend is winning the bowls, so she could end up with a few hundred pesos in her pocket tonight. Don't know what else to tell you so far. What else is there? A few people have popped in and said hello, but not elaborated. Scott Green, hey Scott from New Zealand. I love the way you always say Scott from New Zealand. We all know you're from New Zealand, Scott. You're the only Scott in Scott in the Speaking of Asia family. But welcome from New Zealand. Scott Geen, so sad that Thai girl who got killed. Right, well, you've just lowered the mood of the party. I'm sad now. Who are we talking about? What Thai girl that got killed? Don't know anything about that, mate. Enlighten us, please. Jack Star, my back's been good. Fingers crossed. Plenty of stretching. UK is hard work at the minute. Are you up north or are you in where? Timmy Wimmy. Alex Ela won her tennis match yesterday at Wimbledon. Did she? Is it Wimbledon? Jesus, of course it's June, isn't it? Never occurred to me. I've not seen a single game or heard a single thing. How far has she got? I need to whack a question in that in the quiz now. I'm glad you told me about that. I'll have to put something in there for tomorrow. Yes, Wimbledon. I was never a tennis fan. I watch it occasionally, very occasionally. But usually, like, you know, it shows how little I go out these days. You know, in the old days, I'd be in a bar or a restaurant or something, I'd see the tennis on. Totally oblivious to it. I suppose it's the World Cup that's done that. Jack Star, talking of pension, my war pension is up for review. I've been waiting 20 months for the answer. What WTAF? What the phone? Oh, W2F phone yesterday, still in process. Up for review? What does that mean? Review as in they might raise it, they might lower it, they might stop it. Why is it up for review? Is it like, you know, every few years they assess you again or what? I just assumed, I'm ignorant of this. I thought once you had a war pension, that was it. It went on and forever. Obviously, I might be wrong. Tell us more, Jack. That's interesting. Timmy Wimmy, it's the first week Wimbledon. There you go. That's probably why I've not heard much of it. Isn't that late this year? I thought it was mainly June. I thought it started earlier usually. Does it move around or am I wrong? Heaven forbid I could be wrong. Well, I'm glad Jack's here. I'm glad you're all here. I'm just thinking what's happened to the regular crew. There's no Jim. Adam usually puts a late appearance in. There's no Billy. There's no Art Park. Yeah. There's lots of people who aren't here. Maybe, heaven forbid, they've got better things to do. It's End of Times not here. Hell of a lot of people not here. There you go. I don't blame them. I'm sure I could find something better to do. Okay, Billy, with your expat interviews, what do you think is the common message you're hearing? Now that's a good question. I think you're talking about the recent ones, yes? Well, I've only done one recent one. Well, I think the thing I'm hearing, the people with Dumagetti, as you'll hear with the next one, and as what I've said, the people that live in Dumagetti and stay in Dumagetti and like Dumagetti, it basically tends to be because of the community in Dumagetti. You know, that is the underlying theme that I have picked up on. But only on the recent ones. I mean, but I expect that to be a theme. I mean, as I say, not everyone in Dumagetti is sociable. You've got your little cliques and things, but the circles I move in, you know, the 3 or 4 or 5 places I frequent the most, it's quite tight-knit community. Everyone looks after each other, and it's all kind of intermingled. Some people I play quizzes with, other people I play pickleball with, you know, other. But you know, it's just that they all it sticks together, and it's got strong roots, and you know, that seems to be over the people I'm interviewing now and in the future. That seems to be when I've asked them what is it about Dumagetti, they've all basically said the same thing. Obviously, that doesn't apply to a lot of my expat videos because a lot of people are just passing through or they've been on Sickie or things. But this way, the last 2 expat videos I've done, that's been the thing that they've said is what keeps them here and why they stayed here. And it's the same for me. Okay, Billy, yes, mate. Jackstar, yeah, it should go up to 80%. I mean, I shouldn't really complain as it would be that dated, just frustrating. But that opens up to, obviously, an increase weekly. But as I mentioned, it's not means tested. Okay, 80% of what your full pension would have been had you stayed in the whole time. I'm guessing that's what you mean by 80%. So it's not, I didn't think it'd be means tested. What's it now then, if you don't mind me asking? If you got to 80%, what they got you on at the moment? Okay, Billy, I like the Q&A interviews. Good to hear people's perspectives. The Q&A interviews, what are they? Do you mean the interviews I do, or do you mean the interviews where... Oh, by the way, yes, people, what do you want us to talk about? I have ordered, they should be arriving in the next couple of days, set of decent DJI microphones. I put off doing it for a while because I'm a tight bastard, but I've got them coming now, and it's one of the reasons I've been dragging my heels on the old reviving the beach bums, because it's very hard to find good sounds, particularly with the microphones that I've got now, which is why I started going up to the Henry to do the interviews, because it's generally quite quiet up there, and it's worked quite well. The next interview I uploaded, I think the sound's good on that one, but when we get the new microphones, when they arrive, which should be in the next week, hopefully with the noise cancellation on them, as it's promised, I should be able to do interviews everywhere. So there'll be no stopping us. So yes, what do you want us to talk about on the first return of the beach bums? Give us some questions and we will discuss them, myself and probably 2 others. Jackstar, which means tax-free. Jackstar, no mate, the war pension is separate from my army pension. I'm at 40% currently. Well, that'd be a nice little jump for you, wouldn't it, 80%? And my God, it sounds like you've earned it. But obviously, to a man of your finances, it's just a drip in the ocean, isn't it? I mean, it's not going to, but it is the principle, Jack. You got injured, you deserve it. So we'll keep your fingers crossed. Strange how they drag these things so long. Because I know they do. I mean, when I was looking at my Air Force pension, they said then, like, you know, if you don't claim it, you can claim it like 5, 6, 7, 8 years after retirement. You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't time out. They'll just back pay you. So it's good that they'll get that. They're not stalling you for that. But it's irritating when you've had an injury and you've done it for the country that they would make you wait like that. But there you go. Fortunately, it is the world that we live in. Jackstar, tennis question. Who is the only player to achieve a world #1 ranking without ever winning a Grand Slam singles? I don't know anything about tennis, mate. I could guess some names. Did they win a Grand Slam afterwards? For some reason, Ivan Lendl sprang to mind, but he did win Wimbledon. We did win Wimbledon, didn't he? I don't know. Ivan Lendl. Pat Cash. Put me out of my misery. I'm not very good on tennis. Oh, Timmy Wimmy, Tim Henman. Was Tim Henman number one? Did he ever get to number one, Tim Henman? He didn't get to number one, did he? I'd be interested to know the answer. Tim Henman would make sense in the fact he's English, so I mean Jack would probably have heard that. Unless I don't know, Jack's maybe he's a hardcore tennis fan. But I didn't think Tim Henman was ever number one. I thought it was like number 3 or 4 was the highest he got. I know he never won Wimbledon. Jack Starr, Marcelo Rios. I don't think I've even heard of him, mate. I don't think I've even heard of him. What nationality was he? I say I've watched the odd final. You know, as a kid, I remember Bjorn Borg and McEnroe and Cash and all those players, but never been the game for me. Never had any. I don't know why, because you know, occasionally you'll watch it in a bar or something when it's on, and it is an exciting game. But yeah, not for me. Marcelo Rios, never heard of him. Timmy Wimmy, he was Chilean. He probably still is, isn't he? He's not dead, is he? Timmy Wimmy, very cold. What's very cold? Chile? Oh, I get it now, Chilean. Ha 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 ha. You're too quick for me, mate. You're too quick for me. Who has won the most Grand Slam? Which female tennis player has won the most Grand Slams in the Open era? With, I think, 22 or 23 to her name. Rick MB, come on England. Where are you watching the game, mate? Well, I'm planning to. Trouble is, I'm absolutely exhausted. But I'm threatening to. I'm going to go and watch it in a bar called the Octagon, which is just around the corner. I haven't made it to any other games yet, but I'm determined to go. I've always said I'd go for the knockouts. You never know with the Octagon. There might be a good crowd there. There might not be. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to go and watch it just around the corner. I'm lucky in the sense that it really is close. And I think I'm even going to take the dog with me tonight. So he can watch his first England game. I want to see what he's like, whether he's behaved himself out. Where are you watching the England game, mate? And do you have a prediction for the score? She had the initials SW. Yes, she did. I assume she still does. Jack Stowe, I won't tell you what I currently get, but it's more than a warrant officer too, who did 22 years service, so it's quite considerable. Well, congratulations. Alex Butchney's house, it's coming home. Is it coming home now, Alex? Are you going tonight, mate? Why are you not at home? Why are you at home? I've just had a few people say they're watching a live from the Octagon. Apparently it's still kicking down there. I hope you're going to show your face tonight, Alex. I ain't seen you out in years. Well, I know it's an exaggeration. I haven't really seen you out since Christmas. It'll be more like it. Scott Gein, soccer puffer game. Okay. I'm going to ignore that, mate. I'm going to ignore that. We all know it's not true. At least we don't hold hands like arm wrestlers do. What sort of strange sport go down there holding another man's hands? What are the predictions for the scores? What are we going with? And it is coming home. Scott Gein, rugby league rules. Yes, rugby league does have rules. All sports have rules, Scott. And if we're talking rugby, I must admit, I prefer you. I like league. I enjoy watching league, but I'm more a union man. You know, I get a lot more excited over the internationals union than I do over the league. Alex, definitely be there tonight, mate. Good man, good man. I'm glad someone's come. You weren't so definite the other day. Glad to hear it, glad to hear it. Jack Star, so topics for only fools and expats. Single guys' biggest mistakes on arriving and dating. Changes since you've been there. It's done, mate. It's done. It's done. We will ask those questions. Well done, Jack. Timmy Wimmy. I'll be watching on a big screen in a park called Robin Hill, Isle of Wight. The owner is called Robin Bastard. Looking at the bar prices. Like it, mate, like it. Scott Gein, winter now, hate cold like heat. Winter now, hate cold like heat. I tell you what, Scott, you've got some interesting sentence structures. I get where you're coming from, mate. You don't like the cold and you don't like it's too hot. You like it in the middle. Well, you live in the wrong country, mate. You come to the UK. We're middle of the road. Doesn't get too hot. We did last week. Doesn't get too cold. We don't have earthquakes. As the pub landlord once said, because we don't deserve them. Everything is like, we don't do extremes in the UK. Paul. Hello, Paul. How you doing? Came in a bit late. Holding hands. What's that all about? I was just firing back a bit of friendly banter with Scott. He's into his arm wrestling. That's his sport and his rugby league. And he was suggesting that the noble art of football was a puffs game. And I was pointing out that his favourite sport was just men holding hands. There you go. You're up to speed, Paul. How the devil are you? Glad you can make it. We've got a new crowd tonight, which is good. There may well be some people in the chat tonight, Paul, you haven't met. Or they may have gone. Niels has disappeared. Paul, rubbish. What is rubbish? Men holding hands? Don't tell me you're an arm wrestling fan. Or that football's a game for pufters. I don't know, I'm getting confused now. It doesn't take much, chaps. It doesn't take much. Well, I'm glad Alex is going. I was going to go the other week. I was actually going to go, and I phoned a couple of people and said, "Are you going to the football?" And they were going around and watch a friend's house. I had not been invited. I was a little bit disappointed, a little bit pissed off. And then a few other people said they were going to wait until the knockout stages. So I thought I'll go anyway. Went to sleep, slept through, forgot all about it. But I am not going to forget tonight's game. Scott Gein, what you like best, Philippines or Thailand to live? You do love to ask me that question, Scott. I will give you the same answer as I do every time you ask. I am the Philippines. That is why I'm here. And I'd guess that anyone in the comments who's in the Philippines, they could answer that question. If they're in the Philippines, I guess they probably prefer the Philippines. But you've got your heart set on Thailand, mate, and there's nothing wrong with that. Ban Sang could be the place for you. I love Thailand, but at the moment my heart is with the lovely Ellen in Dumaguete. Now I'm just listening to see if she's listening because I heard her, but she's not listening. She's obviously shopping on her phone. Timmy Wimmy, I'm looking forward to eventually retiring in 2 years or so. I bet you are, mate. I bet you are. The time will fly by. Time does fly by as you get older. Mind you, I don't know why you're looking forward to retirement. It sounds like you're retired as it is. You're living on your you're like Quincy. You're on your little yacht, floating around, doing things, going out, partying. Yeah, Quincy. Remember Quincy MD on his little yacht? John Mesters, game just finished. KK1. There you go. Can't be bad, mate. Can't be bad. It's a long day. It's a long day. Well done. Give her my sincere congratulations. It is a long day when you win, though. It's very disappointing when you don't. There's been a couple of times when I've won down there. Not because of me, I've just been in good teams. And I think one of them was like 8:30, 9 o'clock we finished. You've been there since like 2 o'clock. It's a long day. Timmy Wimmy, I prefer Philippines because I don't like Thai language. And I love joking with the Filipinos. You mean you don't like the Thai language? You don't know the Thai language? It's a bit strong to say you don't like it, mate. It's a very old language, but I hear you. I mean, that is a big element. I mean, Thais do have a great sense of humour, but if you can't make them understand you, then you're gonna struggle. Where Filipinos do like a joke. Planet Jonesy, good day, buddy. Good day, mate. Some good news. I have made the big jump and I have purchased the DJI microphones. I should have them in the week. It was your testimony that you put them in the wash and they survived, that has given me the push I needed to buy them. I was being a cheapskate. We tried to buy some at the weekend, but then they wouldn't do cash on delivery, and my cards aren't linked to Ellen's Shopee account, so I couldn't pay from that way. So we said we'd wait for another thing to come out, and I started looking at, they're called Bio or whatever, which are supposed to be just as good, but they're a cheaper brand. And the tight bastard in me thought, right, I'll go for those. But then last night, like, sod it, no, I don't care about sale, don't care about the thing, I'm getting the DJI mics. So hopefully, sound will be much improved going forward. Paul 12, never wish for old age. I wasn't. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Every day's a blessing and all that. Yeah, you're right. I think you're talking about what I was saying about, I think you're talking to Timmy Wimmy about can't wait for his 2-year retirement to come up. Well, Paul, I wish for old age because it means I'm going to live long. You know what I mean? I wish to have a very long life. I do wish to achieve old age. But again, I know what you mean. Timmy Wimmy, I find the language quite ugly and annoying. It really grates. Love Thai food though. Yeah, well, how long have you actually been there in one hit? Because the first time I got to Thailand, the first couple of weeks, my God, the language drove me nuts. I thought, I can't stand any more of this. But gradually, over a few months, I got used to it. And by the end, I liked it. I like hearing Thai voices out now. It makes me feel kind of like at home. But I don't know, maybe we're different. I mean, maybe you've been there a long time. Maybe it would grate even more on you. But I hear you, it's very annoying when you first get there because it's so tonal and it's so loud and that. But I mean, once you get used to it, I like it. The only accent that's ever really grated on me, and I mean really grated, is Indians talking English. I used to fly Air India back a lot, and you'd often get talking to Indian people. And it's now, I've got nothing against Indians, I've said many times. Majority of my friends in the UK are Indian because I grew up in Leicester and Newham. Well, I grew up in Newham, but I lived in Leicester. But they're second, third generation now, so they've got English accents. But sometimes you'll get on a plane and you'll talk to some Indian, and their grammar and their speech is perfect. It's just the accent just grates on you, and you have to concentrate on what they're saying. But that's the only one. Anyway, there you go. I've said my bit. Okay, Billy, what's the best way to buy things online? Is there a popular app like Amazon? Yeah, mate, yeah, there is. I have always been a Lazada man. Ellen has always been a Shopee person. They're the two big ones. You can use Amazon. A lot of my American cousins over here, they order stuff from Amazon, and I'm reliably informed if it's less than $200, you don't have to pay any tax, and Amazon will send here. So if you want to stick with Amazon, you can do. But yeah, Lazada is the one I always used. But Ellen always said Shopee was better, and she's right. I've stopped using Lazada. I started using Shopee. I bought my phone on Shopee. Just bought these microphones on Shopee. I bought a laptop mic the other day. Shopee's a lot better. The price is better. The service is better. But yeah, they're good. And the thing is, what put me off is you can get a lot of fakes on some of the stores online here. But if you go with Shopee and you buy through their MAL shops, they've got like shops they vouch for, or Lazada, you're guaranteed. You know, it's like I bought the phone from the Samsung's online store. And they say there, if you ever get sent a fake, they'll reimburse you 3 times what you paid for it. So as long as you like, you know, go for what they call the flagship stores, the ones which are verified by Shopee and Lazada, then it's safe as well. And the delivery is really good. I'm getting confused now. Okay, Billy, is it too hot to go for walks during the day? No, what here? No, no. Well, it depends on your heat tolerance. It doesn't bother me if I go for a walk here, because I don't as much as I should do at all. I feel quite healthy because I like the idea of getting the vitamin D. It's too hot for Ellen, not because she can't take the heat. She's like the majority of Filipinos do not want to get a tan. They don't want to go any darker. So I mean, it depends. I mean, I have walked to places before, like to the Octagon Bar, and people have said, "You're crazy walking in this heat." And some people, you know, so it depends on your heat tolerance, mate. It depends on your heat tolerance. For me, I don't think it is, but you know, to others maybe. Paul, very sad tea. Very sad tea. I'm getting very confused here. Very sad tea. Hey, Flaming is in the house. Hello, sir. This doom of traffic is starting to get to me. It's almost unbearable to travel after 2:30 p.m. You're in Dumagetti, are you? Why have we not met up? I get very confused again. If you've spoken to me about this before, I do apologise. But I get names and things sort of confused here. You have told me so how long are you in Dumagetti for? I'm a bit confused now by why Paul is very sad. We don't want Paul to be sad. Paul's a valued member of the community. Have I said something to upset Paul? I don't know what's going on. The traffic. I tell you what, the traffic yesterday. I went up to you. You're right. I don't know. I tell you, part of the problem with the traffic here, it's the bloody traffic control agents. My God, if they had a brain cell, they'd die. It would die of loneliness. They just come out and it just makes the traffic atrociously bad. It's, we came back from we went up to the Henry yesterday and had lunch up there, and on the way back, my God, the journey was just, it was like being in central Bangkok, like in rush hour, and it's never been like that before. And it's because you had traffic people every like couple of 100 metres stopping the traffic and then starting and pulling people forward. Whenever there's a traffic jam in Dumagetti, you know it's because the traffic people are there. When they're not there, it flows seamlessly. It's ridiculous. Don't know what the story that is. Jackstar, has the aircon been sorted? No, it hasn't been sorted, but I'm reliably informed. The landlord, I passed it back to him. They're coming Sunday morning at 8 a.m. So Sunday 8 a.m. If they turn up, it should all be done. Thank you for asking. I messaged him about 2 days ago. I said, look, any movement on the weather? Like, it's been a few weeks. I wasn't pushing. Ellen was saying push. I can't because I was unable to make any progress. And he didn't reply for a couple of days. I thought he's having the same problems I've had. But then he messaged me yesterday and said they're coming on Sunday at 8 o'clock, assuming they turn up. So incredibly hard to get anyone to do any work here in the Philippines. And I thought, yeah, well, I know. You know. Okay, Billy, have you adjusted with the humidity? Yeah, I mean, I don't find it particularly humid here. But like I say, I mean, 15 years in Asia now, mate. I'm used to it. But it never really bothered me. I mean, heat has never bothered me. When I was in the Air Force in Riyadh, you know, it got really hot. It was a dry heat. Some of the people really suffered with that. It didn't, you know, I don't mind heat. I don't like it at night, don't get me wrong. I struggle to sleep in it at night. I need to have the aircon on, you know, if it gets hot. But during the day and like walking around and doing stuff like that, as long as I stay hydrated, it doesn't really bother me. So there wasn't much to adjust to. What I was saying, that I did go to Florida once in June, went up to Key West, and bothered me there in the sense that you had to change your shirt like 3 or 4 times a day. You know, you put a new top on and within about 2-3 hours, it was soaking wet. That really was humid. Scott Gein, Simon, do you like the heat in the Philippines? Yeah, I like the heat in the Philippines, mate. I'd rather have it hot like this than I would have it like, you know, cold like in the UK in winter. Flaming says, agreed, I don't like the sound of that Tai Lang. Yeah, I know it can be sharp. Paul has retracted his message. I'm even more intrigued now. Scott Gein, yes, Paul, so sad, poor girl. Paul, yes, sad to hear of a 17-year-old girl murdered this week in Pattaya by an Australian. Okay, that's what we're talking about. I had not heard about that. That is, yeah, that is very sad. I don't know anything about the circumstances or whatever, but you know, if that's what's happened and he is guilty, I hope they throw the fucking book at him. But as I say, no, first I've heard about it. Yeah, very sad. 17's nothing at all, isn't it? That's no life. You get some damaged people out here, you know, it's just outrageous that kind of shit happens. Living Life has retracted his message. Living Life, does the generator works? No, it doesn't work. Well, no, we haven't got it working yet. Let me rephrase that. I went out today and I bought, I got a 10 litre gas thing, I just need to get some oil for it, but we're not going to try it. I've got a friend of mine's going to come round, but I put him off last week because I hadn't got the oil and the fuel sorted out, and he's been away for Cebu. He was a generator engineer for like 30-40 years in the States, so he's going to come round and do it. So we've not used it yet, but that doesn't mean it's not working. I haven't fired it. I don't want to fire it up until he's had a look at it and put the oil in the right place and the gas and things. But by the next live, I should be able to tell you. But thanks for asking. Flaming, we spoke only online on our lives. I'm a young Aussie coming and going for 4 years now. I'm near the Henry. It's a nice spot, the Henry. I was up there yesterday afternoon doing an interview. Well, if you fancy doing an interview, mate, you know, let me know. Be great to sit down with you. And if you fancy a bit of trivia, get yourself down Sideways one night. How young are you? The reason I say that is I saw a young guy in the Henry yesterday. He was wearing sports gear with a young Thai girl coming out of the Henry Hotel. That wasn't you, was it? He gave me a look, and I gave him a look back, and I smiled. I doubt it was you because you'd have recognised me. Jim's in the house. Good evening all. Good evening, James. How the devil are you? How was your day? Flaming, trying to cross anywhere over the national highway is almost impossible. I start looking for a backup plan. Dipolog, Bio and San Carlos maybe. You get used to it, mate. You get used to it. I mean, I don't know where you've been going or whatever, but when I first got here, I thought the traffic, my God, this is terrible. I'm going to get one over in a couple of weeks. Now I don't give it a second thought, but there you go. If the traffic's a problem for you, then Doomageti's probably not the place for you, mate. But I mean, I suppose it's different when you're up the Henry. I mean, where we are in Bekong, I mean, we've been in the city a few times this week, but I don't really cross a lot of roads. It's not really something that comes into my day-to-day. If I was living in the Henry or living in the city, then I probably would cross more. Mind you, I'll tell you what, compared to Vietnam, it is nothing. It's a cakewalk here compared to being in Saigon. Timmy Wimmy. I love the song by Prayer Chana, a massive hit called Kluan, which means wave. It's a timeless classic. Love the video worldwide on YouTube. Is that the one where I can't think how the bloody tune goes. I can't think how the tune goes. I'm not going to sing it. I used to sing it when I was drunk, but my tie's a lot worse now. I think I know the song you mean. It's the one where she's basically a girl and she's saying she likes him and she wants to phone him, but if he can't, it's not appropriate for a girl to ask. But is it? Jim Pendergast, nice new haircut, Simon. Well, thank you, James. Much appreciated. Just a short back and side. Yeah, it's a bit shorter than I would like. I do look a bit like Bert off Sesame Street, I know. But my hair grows so quick, I don't care. It was looking a mess. But thank you for noticing, Jim. Thank you for caring, mate. Flaming, the barbers are great here. Way better than Indonesia or Australia. They do great fades. Do they really? My view's the opposite. I don't think this is a lot harsher than I asked for. But there you go. I much prefer the barbers in Thailand to here, but there you go. Mind you, I found one now. You might see him in one of the vlogs. I've vlogged this one. He's just round the corner, and I tell you, my God, he's a different level to the others. The thing that I can't get my head around here is how long the haircuts take. It's like, you know, they're very cheap, the haircuts. I mean, you think they want to get as many done as they can in an hour, but they'll just piss around for like 40 minutes, just cutting the odd hair here, cutting the odd hair there, and like attention to detail, but you lose the will to live. But this guy I've gone to the last 2 times, yeah, he butchers me, but you're not sat in a chair for more than 5 minutes. He's like Edward Scissorhands. So I don't really care about the haircut. I'm just grateful for the extra 30 minutes of my life that I haven't spent sat in a chair. But we went there yesterday. I think Ellen timed it. I think from the moment I sat down to leaving, it was about 6 minutes. Where are we now? I've got lost in the chat. Flaming, I always tip the barber 100 pesos. Well, he'll be very happy with that. That's a generous tip for the Philippines. Timmy Wimmy, it's a Thai song. Massive, massive song by Pai Chanai. I know it's a Thai song. Hold on, let me... Oh, I've lost you now. Let me double check if that's what I'm talking about. Is this the one I'm talking about? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I was thinking it was something else. What's the name of the song I like then? We'll find out in just one moment, chaps. Is it the same song? No, that's not it. Yeah, I know that song. Yeah, that's not the one I thought you were talking about. Yeah, that's a massive song. That's a sad song though. Trying to think of the name of the one I like. It was on my old laptop. Everyone's dancing around on a line. I can't think of the tune. That is when you try and sing a song. I just cannot think of the tune of it now. Flaming, nah, I haven't seen you in person. Yeah, now if you're 38, then it's not you, mate, because the guy I saw was, he was early 20s, I would have thought. Flaming, I think the problem is my location. Last year, I was living Banilad, Duma. I considered it Bekong. That was a great area. Bekong side is the only way to go, I think. Well, Banilad is Bekong, mate. We're in Banilad. This is where I live. Banilad is in Bekong. It's not Duma. As soon as you get past the native, where the sign is, and it says you're in Dumaguete, then you're in Duma. That's not Banilad. So you were right to consider it Bekong, because it is. Living life. The Henry is real nice. A true oasis. Yeah, the Henry is nice. The Henry is nice. I suggested to Ellen that we stayed there the other day, and she doesn't want to. So we're not. Because we're going away, chaps, it would appear soon. We're going over to Siquijor. I don't really want to go. I'm trying to get out of going because I'm worried about the dog and things and the kitten and all this other stuff. So I said as a compromise, why don't we just have a night in the, couple of nights in the Henry? Because that way I could drive back and check on the animals. But no, that's not going away, she says, which is fair enough. But I don't want to leave the animals. But anyway, yeah, we're supposedly going to Siquijor next month with some friends. So there you go, we will be vlogging. Back to the scene of the crime. But the Henry is really nice. I had a friend, a guy I met, an American subscriber who came over to meet me, and he was staying there, and he said it was amazing. I've never been in the rooms, but I've eaten in a few of the restaurants up there. I really like the Popolo pizza up there, and it's good for doing the vlogs. Ellen likes the Sans Rival up there. I'm not particularly keen on it, but it is a nice part. Paul, why doesn't Ellen cut it? Because I like my ears. Why would she cut it? She's not a hairdresser. I did have a thing before. She gets very weird about that kind of stuff. I bought a trimmer just to shave myself when I had my beard and bits not over here. I don't know where they've gone, lost all the leads and that. And a couple of times I said trim the back of my neck, and she was terrified she'd cut me. I don't know why she's so shy of that. Flaming, I live on the street of the Henry. but I've never been there. That definitely wasn't you coming out to Henry then. I say it'd be expensive to stay at Henry. I think it's about £75, £80 a night. Flaming, do you know anyone that has bought one of them little multi-cab vans that come cut up? Yeah, I know a few people. Yeah, a few people. They're very popular over here. And people speak highly of them. I hope you're covered up there. And if people speak very highly of them. I've got a few friends that have got them. Thing you got to worry about those, if anyone's thinking of getting one, here's my bit of advice, my bit of wisdom from spending time over here. They're cut up in Japan, and then they send them over here to avoid the tax, and then they put them back together again. But the parts don't match, they're from different vehicles. So a friend of mine who's got a garage said that they're great buys, they really do last, and they put together well, they're okay. But they could have been sitting there for a couple of years, and the people who put them together don't check about the oil and the fuel and things. So he's saying if you ever buy one, get it straight to a garage and get the oil and everything changed. Because if you don't, you could end up blowing up in a couple of days. But if you get everything changed and all new fluids and everything in there, they can go on for years. I mean, I wouldn't want one, but I know a lot of people who've got them. Timmy Wimmy, very sad song. That's the one, the sad song. Yeah, it is. It's amazing that you see people crying to that with tears in their eyes, even though they've heard it 1,000 times. Flaming, nah, there's 2 bathrooms. 2 bathrooms? I don't know what you mean, 2 bathrooms. Now I'm getting confused again. Have I missed something? Jim, just giving you a like. God bless you, Jim. Thank you very much. Flaming, you're not the guy who knows Scott, are you? Weren't you on the chat a long time ago when you were staying in Bannylad? Or am I getting you mixed up with someone else? Flaming, I was behind the big industrial place on the highway not far from Andox. Yeah, but that's not Bannylad, is it? That is Dooma. I know exactly what you mean. How long I'm sure I spoke to you before. Don't you know Scotty Boy? Because I remember saying to you before, ask your missus, there's 2 Bannylads. Banny Olds? Ellen. Well, I'll ask her in a minute. Okay, well, there you go. Is there 2 Bannylads? Flaming, yes, that's me. There you go. That was a long time ago. Am I missing chats out here? I'm going to go back right now. Right, Jim, just giving you a like. God bless you, Jim. Thank you very much, mate. Very much appreciated. Jim, only 3 weeks left of our 6-month location time. So gone so fast. Been a great time. Is it really only? Good Lord. That is shocking, mate. If you would have asked me how long you'd been there, I'd have said, I don't know, 3, 4 months maybe. And it wouldn't feel like that. It's just that I know times fly as you get older. But really? Wow, that has gone quick. Jim, I'm good, Jackstar. How is your good self? I've already done that. One. Jackstar, I'm doing good, buddy. Thanks for asking. Flame Ass, I thought I was Bekong, but your missus said it was Bannylad Dooma, not Bannylad Bekong. Okay. Thank you very much, Timmy. That's very generous of you, mate. Much appreciated. Thank you, brother. Didn't have to do that, but thank you. Let me have a little look on Google. Is there a Bannylad in Dooma Getty? I used to be able to type fast on that, but this new laptop I got is a Philippines keyboard, and it has screwed me up. No, there's not 2. I think it's the same one. I think it's because it says here, It is a suburb and populated barangay located approximately 5 kilometres south of the city centre, bordered to the south by the municipality of Bekong and to the north by the barangay Bagakay, with a population of 9,600. So I guess Banilad must be half in Dumaguete, half in Bekong, but it doesn't say there's not two Banilads in Dumaguete, are there? Like our Banilad and another one? Are you sure about that? Oh, I don't believe that. Our Banilad in Dumaguete and Banilad Bekong the same. No, they're not. You're right. Okay, there you go. I was wrong. See, I'm big enough to admit it. Ellen was right. That is a bloody first. I don't know how that happened, but what? Why are you doing your face packing camera shot? They can see you there. You're like a ghost in the background. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. I can see you. Do something with your body, and I'll take you. You're waving your hand up. There you go. So you didn't believe me. Yeah, you're right, chaps. I was wrong. You were right. I should apologise. Yes, Banilad is a it's cut in half, and the half this side is Banilad Bekong, and the half that side is Dumaguete Banilad. You live and learn. The things I've learned on I'm wiser and uglier than I was before I started the chat. Well done. Now I've got to get back to my back to the chat. Seems like many Filipinos scared of their own shadow. Oh, Timmy, mate, thank you very much. Didn't have to do that, mate. Thank you. You haven't pressed it twice, have you? You've just given me two thumbs up, two super chats. Thanks, mate. FB Apartments was where I live near city limit for 6k a month. 6k a month, that is cheap. Wait a minute, Timmy, you've just given me another one. Are you doing that? Timmy, that is very kind of you, mate. Totally unnecessary. You're not pressing your thing. You do realise I'll send them back. I don't know if I can send them back, but you've sent me free. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Yeah, wow. Living life. Any more thoughts on running into 9 bloggers story? I wonder if folks would be interested. No, I've got to talk to. Thanks for that, Tim. I hope you haven't. You've sent those on purpose. Much appreciated, mate. No, because I can't. I've got to talk to Sean. It was Sean who sent that to me, and it's interesting that he met them, but I don't know what I can say about that because I didn't meet them. It'd be a bit bored. I just said there are a lot of vloggers in the Philippines, and I know a friend who came over and he met 9 in like 2 weeks or whatever. So I'll have to. I forgot to ask about it. I've been a bit busy. What are you doing? She's sat behind the camera. I think she's playing with a cat. I don't know, or she's doing gestures at me. I was playing with a cat. Yeah, I don't know where we go with that because as I say, he's like I said, just in case you want it. So I mean, yeah, I'd be happy to interview Sean. But I don't know where we go with it. I mean, it's like how can I talk about that? I didn't meet them, and so I've got no observations on the people that I met. That he met. So who knows? But I did like the fact he wasn't too keen on one that I wasn't keen on. But yeah, I mean, as I say, I did suggest asking him to message me and say what his ideas were, because I'm always looking for content. But it was a bit of a short video. I said, I've got a friend called Sean who met 9 vloggers when he was here, and he didn't like this one or he did like that one. It's like, that's kind of like, I don't know where I go with that. However, if he was like, we did it, on Skype, Zoom or something, then that would be a different ball game. Or he gave me a bit more meat on the bone so I could make a vlog out of it. Trace Blackwell on Sikihor, left Dooma this morning, living in Dipolog. On Sikihor, left Dooma this morning, living in Dipolog. Dipolog Sikihor. Jim, Nora does my hair at home, but enjoy going to the barbers here. Also being pampered, having nails done. I got a mate who got his nails done the other day. He was late for the quiz because he was getting his toes and his foot nails done. I thought he was joking. I said, where is he? I'm not going to say his name. And they said he's getting his nails done. And I was like, all right, is he coming? Where is he? He said he's getting his nails done. I said, don't be stupid. And he turned up with shiny nails and his feet and that. You know, fair enough. Do you really get that done, Jim? When you go to the barber's here, they ask you if you want something for the weekend. I've never had that asked here, I must admit. Timmy Wimmy, enjoy the match tonight. I will, mate. Thank you, Tim. I will have a beer on you. I will toast you and your anchored yacht in. Can't remember the name of the bloody the name of the river now. God, I've been talking about it all night. What is wrong with my short-term memory? But no, appreciate it, mate. On the Isle of Wight. What river did you say you were on? I'd not heard of it, had I? But no, much appreciated, mate. Colm Farrell, hello mate, you're there. Les is in Duma from Thailand. Maybe interview him. He's thinking of making a move. Les? Who's Les? Les is in Duma. Got to remember, I'm not. Is he a vlogger? I'm not very au fait on these vloggers' names. Timmy Wimmy, fully deserved, brilliant vlogger. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you to say so, mate. I do appreciate it. Thank you, Timmy. And you are my favourite yachtsman. I can say that without a shadow of a doubt. Living life, yeah, let's do it on video. Living life, you're not Sean $5, are you? I'm getting very confused here. Is that you, Sean? Because you've got loads of different handles. Jim Pendergast, any progress on OnlyFools and expats? Yes. We're making movements on it. We're making great strides. The plan is we're going to, because I've ordered some new microphones. That has been what's holding me back. I think we've got 2 people for the first one of which will be John. The other one will be a friend of mine who you will meet in the next, either tomorrow or Saturday, because I interviewed him, Joe. I'm just waiting for the new microphones to come, because when I went to interview John the other day, I know you've seen the interview, we were going to do it in sideways originally, and my microphones, I don't know, they've dropped them so many times. The noise distortion wasn't really working, it was terrible in there. That's why we went up to the Henry, which I'm not sorry about, because it's good sound up there and it's a nice background. But I'm not sure where we're going to... I think we'll probably move venue to venue when we do these OnlyFools and expats. I thought my microphone had fallen off there for a second. So I've got some new mics, which are good DJI ones. So they should allow us to pretty much do it anywhere, because the noise cancellation's supposed to be second to none on there. I think, though, chaps, I'm just going to call it Coffee and a Chat. Or Beer and a Chat. What are your thoughts? Because if I call it the Beach Bums, if I, like we did with that, I've really got to have other people in it, and people won't always be available, and it kind of ties you to a certain format. So what my thinking is, I want to try and get a pattern to the channel. So I do an interview 1 day a week, I do a vlog 1 day a week, I do a walk and talk 1 day a week, and I do I don't want it too much, don't want it become a full-time job. So what I'm thinking is, if I have 1 day a week and I call it a coffee and a chat or a beer and a chat, sometimes I'll do it by myself, but if I've got the numbers, I'll do it with a few people. What are your thoughts on that? Because then I'm not tied. I can make it a regular thing regardless of when anyone's on board. Might call it beer and a chat, might call it coffee and a chat. And if it's got, more people on it, I'll put it in the thumbnail and I'll add OnlyFools and expats, or the Coffin Dodgers, you know what I mean? But I'm thinking rather than, and I'll set it up on a playlist, coffee and a chat or beer and a chat, rather than call it a specific thing and have to have lots of people for it. What are your thoughts on that, chaps? Colm Farrell, retired, living the dream. Well done, mate. Good luck to you. I can't say I'm living the dream. I know where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from with a retired living the dream. It's under time has arrived. Good evening, Simon. Very late getting on. Brown out just over here. Brown out? What's that? Thing of the past for us, mate. How long was it off for, brother? Trace Blackwell. Les, retired and living the dream. Back in Dooma in a few days. Okay. Never heard of him, I'm afraid. I don't really want... There are 160... I know you're just saying he's not from Doomagate. I'm just giving you an example. Someone said to me, quoted a statistic not so long ago, which I have taken as true, but, you know, as they say, 98% of statistics are made up on the spot, that there are 160... It was either 160 or 165 vloggers in Doomagate alone. Now, if that's the case, I am aware of 5 of them at best. You know, I don't know, I don't watch vlogs, you know, so this Les guy, he might be massive for all I know, but I've never heard of him. But I'll look him up. I tell you one, I don't know if anyone's watched this, my favourite vlogger in Thailand for a long time was a guy called James. He used to go around he lived in Tak up in the north, and he used to go around looking at properties and things. But the last I heard, he was stopping the channel and he was moving to Portugal. I don't know what happened to him, but I did watch him even when I came back here. But all the others, no, I don't. What are you doing, doggy? Yeah, anyway, there you go. Retired, living the dream. Well, wait a minute, he's not that American guy with the fuzzy hair, is he? Les, retired and living the dream, back in Doom a few years. Living a life, yes, different handle. Tried to cut down the confusion, didn't work. Good God, Sean, you've got so much. God, I tell you, this guy, great bloke, but it's so confusing. He's got one name on Facebook, a different name on thing. Now he's got 2 handles on here. So it's you who asked about that. Yeah, well, let's do that then, Sean. Let's do a Zoom or something. Let's do a Zoom. I will message you and sort of something out, because, yeah, I think it's a great story, but given the information I've got on it, there's not really much I can say other than I know a man who met a man who liked this man, didn't like that man. It's not exactly great TV or YouTube or whatever content. But now I know it's you, I will message you. Why have you changed from $5 to living a life? Colm Farrell, James Abroad. Yes, James Abroad, that was the guy. Don't know why I stopped watching him. I think our last one he did, he said he was moving to Portugal or so. I've just not seen him up in my feed since. But he was a nice guy, I liked him. My kind of chap. Colm Farrell, he moved to Bangkok. Why? Why did he move to Bangkok? I thought he was happy in Tak. I know his daughter was going to university there. Trace Blackwell, Les is a Brit from Thailand. Good. Because for a second there, I don't like to talk bad of other YouTubers, but there is an American guy over there. Don't know what his name is, don't think it's Les. I thought he was retired something. He's doing incredibly well on the views and that, you know. Good luck to him. I've only watched him like 2 or 3 times, but by Christ, I find him annoying. I don't know why. Sure, he's a nice guy. It's my problem, not his. But I thought for a second it was him. I thought, I ain't interviewing him. I'm going to fucking interview him. I think there's trouble with this guy. I'm not trying to dig him out, the one I'm talking about. You know, I am very British, you know, in the sense like, you know, I'm a bit of a whinging pom. You know, I try and tell it how it is. This particular guy is so, oh, this is wonderful, that's wonderful. I find his enthusiasm draining. You know, it's like, can't stand people who are totally positive and up and about. I like to sit there and complain about things to people. Not all things, I'm not miserable. I like to have a laugh. I like to add humour to my complaints and things, but some of these vloggers are so bloody optimistic and just jumping around like, you know, so happy. I just look at them and I think, grow up. Be miserable like I am. It's on time. Electric was off for long enough to make me a ball of sweat. Aircon is the greatest invention known to man. Yeah, well, this one we've got, this 3, it's a 3 kilowatt thing. So I've got a couple of battery packs, which are quite good. They're 500 watt. So I think we'll be pretty much, but the thing is, when we have a burnout, we don't have them for very long, and the fans can work on that. My mate John reckons that'll be enough to run the aircon. But the trouble is, the aircon, there's no way of plugging it in. I mean, the aircon, you know, it's wired into the system. But I might have a word with the landlord, because it's pointless having that generator, you know, getting it so we can hook it up to one of the aircons. But I say at this moment now, I mean, even if the generator works, we're cooking on gas. Because if we have a brownout, the UPS kicks in, so the internet stays up. I say the battery packs, they'll run, you know, the laptop for like 48 hours. You know, so we don't struggle too bad as it is now, but with the generator as well, you know, really shouldn't cause us any hardships. And the landlord has offered to connect the, I might have said this before, the solar panels, because he's got solar now as well. We've got solar, but he sells it to the electricity board. But he was saying he could get a battery so we could use it in brownouts, but he wants to raise the rent for that. And he's asked me and my neighbour what we think about it, and I was having some time to think about it. Now I've got the generator. No, I'm not interested in it. I'm fine the way we are. Paul, the old fella English expat blogger losing the plot, 75 years old. Hold on. The old fella English expat blogger losing the plot, 75 years old. Are we talking about Les? Or are we talking about the English guy over here that's always... Name him, Paul. Name him, mate. Who are we talking about? Jim, if there are 165 vlogs in Dinmageddon, there is only one channel worth watching. Speaking of Asia. Oh, Jim, you've just brought a tear to my eye, Jim. Literally. I'm emotional now. It might be the England game. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. That's very nice to hear, brother. But I've been spending a lot of time in Americas recently. I started calling everyone brother. That's not really me. I'm usually mate, muck, you know what I mean? But brother seems to have entered my vocabulary. And why not? Colm Farrell, his new wife is from Bangkok, or works there. New wife? Oh wow, I didn't know he's divorced. I know he had a very strange marriage. He said they'd had difficulties and the wife didn't always live there and that. You know, he never really went in it. But God, a lot has changed. I'm assuming he maybe lost a house then, did he? Because I know he had certain legal things to look after it, but her dad's was quite high up in the police and that. Probably not someone you want to screw around with. But wow, that is a surprise. But is he still vlogging? Daniel Morgan, what do you think about the demise of the recent Philippines vlogger Elliot Eastman? I don't know who that is. Elliot Eastman. As I've said repeatedly on this vlog and other vlogs, I don't really watch other vloggers. You know, I used to before I came here, but once you're living here, there's nothing really they can tell you. You know, but what was his channel called? It's a big channel. I never heard of him. Jack Star, did you get my message, pal? What message? No, Jack. How did you send it? Where did you send it to? Well, having said that, I've got a message on Facebook now. I can see I've got my Facebook on in the background. Did you send it today? No, it's not. It's not you. No, where did you send it? Because I don't know. I sent you a friend request on Facebook many moons ago, and you never replied, mate. When I said, "Don't you want to be friends?" You said you don't really use Facebook. So where have you sent this message to, brother? Or is it email? If you let me know, I'll know where to look. Marcus boy, solar power is the way forward, Simon. Yeah, mate, it would be if it was my house. If it was my house, my home. And certainly if we ever build a place, we'll get solar. But I mean, it's a situation now, as I said to you. I mean, put it this way, would you do it? I mean, we're living here now. We have been living here a year. And we've had 3 brownouts in that time. It's no two official scheduled brownouts that I can remember, which have actually been brownouts, which were the whole of Dinmageddon. And we've had 4 unscheduled ones. And none of the unscheduled ones have lasted more than 30 minutes. So I've got backup packs. We've got UPS. Our internet doesn't go down. We've got a generator. So do I really want to pay an extra $2,000 a month to have backup solar when we'd never use it and don't need it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not big money, but you know, it's like, you know, it's not something. You know, what's the point of having the other stuff? I mean, don't get me wrong. If we started having brownouts all the time and they were long, or if we were living in our old place, I'd have ripped his arm off. Fantastic deal. But we are so lucky where we live in Bekong in terms of compared to other people in other areas. We just really don't get many. And when they do, I mean, we had one. The rare times we do, they seem to be when we're about to do lives. But it's not on for long. And it's easy to blame things. Like the other day when I had that terrible live, you know, and I was saying the internet's terrible and that was my fault. It wasn't the internet here at all. I was using my data on my phone and it's not a great signal. Do you want to go out? Come on in. Come on in. Don't be barging. Excuse me, chaps. I've got to see. I'm going to keep running down. Where are we going now? I get losing the chat. But no, you're right. Definitely, if ever we build a place, solar's going to be what we do. Paul John. John, are you talking about expat living in the Philippines? The John, you know, the old guy with the dodgy railings. Are you talking about him? Colm Farrell. He also has a new daughter. They are using the house for an Airbnb business. Colm Farrell, he still vlogs, yes. The divorce seemed amicable. Is his channel still the same name? James Abroad. It's on time, McCushy boy. Totally agree, lad, about solar. But it's a little costly. 680k was their quote. I'll hold off. Yeah, I mean, it is quite costly. But I mean, if you're going to build a house, it makes sense getting it done because you'll recoup it. And it's not just the cost efficiency, it's the fact that, you know, it's going to cover you in brownouts and things, you know what I mean? And realistically, if we ever do build, it will be further out. And the further out you go here, you know, you want to be self-sufficient, really, if you're going to do that. But, you know, it ain't going to happen until it's our place, you know what I mean? And it can become. I know people who've bought this and they have to constantly. A few people they're constantly upgrading. They've got to get new batteries. They've got to get this. It's not as fantastic as people make it out in the sense of the running cost. It's fantastic in terms of the convenience, and it's good for the environment. But you've got constantly ongoing costs. My parents used to have it in the UK. They had it there, but they sold it back to the electricity board when they lived in Cornwall. They haven't got it where they live now. Flaming, I actually spoke to Eastman before they whacked him on his live. I think he was on the spectrum. So what did he do then? What did this guy do? Daniel, he was the young, good-looking kid out in the red zone. They tried to kidnap him and he resisted, so they shot him dead. He pretty much broke every single rule. Okay, never heard of him. Never heard of the to be honest with you, I am. This is going to sound negative now. Or it's going to sound like I don't know what it's. Listen, I feel sorry for the guy. I don't. You know. It's very sad what's happening. I know nothing about him. But what I'm saying is, I don't really take interest in stuff like that. You know what I mean? You know. I've seen people do vlogs about some guy was kidnapped here or a vlogger here or whatever and how dangerous it is and all that. I don't think we're a load of bollocks. It's so much safer here. I mean, Dumaguete is supposed to be the safest city in the Philippines. I've never felt in danger here. You know, you'll always get things that happen. But generally when I read that a tourist has been kidnapped there or someone's been shot there or whatever, I see the headline. I don't bother to read the article. I mean, there are so many bigger conflicts and things than that in the world. I'm not berating the fact it's terrible it happened to him, but I'm just saying that's why I don't know about it. I mean, I probably have seen the headline. I'm just not bothered watching the video, you know what I mean? Because literally hundreds of thousands of people die every day, you know what I mean? It is, anyway. Does that make me sound like a bastard? Do you know where I'm coming from? But I'm certainly not going to... It annoys me when some people jump on that bandwagon and they start making videos about someone's been killed here and how dangerous it is now. I personally think that's a bit distasteful. But there you go. That's just me, and maybe I'm wrong. But no, I didn't know anything about it. Didn't know he had a channel, and I didn't know he'd been killed. Very sad. Flaming Eastman was near Zamboanga City. He was kidnapped and killed 1 to 2 years ago. Young American. Oh, it's not a recent thing then. Okay. I had heard that someone had been. I thought you were talking about a recent thing. I did know a bit about that then. I didn't know his name was Eastman. Daniel Morgan, for being an expat abroad, including marrying a 70-year-old, just a young, dumb, well-being kid in his early 20s. Married a 70? Can you marry a 17-year-old over here? Wow, what is the age? Flaming, he was being a loan shark as well. Was he? Well, that's probably something you don't want to get involved in. Neighbours told him he was going to be kidnapped, but he stayed. Well, he was silly then, wasn't he, in retrospect? It's on time. That was a sad case. Very naive dude. Into loaning in Mindanao. R.I.P. Yeah, it's on time. Yes, very sad. He was so naive. Jim Pendergraft. Love our solar, but cannot rebate for the excess produce during the day. I know some parts of the Philippines you can. So you're not selling it back to the system then, Jim? You're just using it? Well, as long as it's covering your needs, mate, that's fantastic. Marcus boy, it's end of time, yeah, expensive. But if you can, buy it and fit yourself, lad.
He's good enough to...
What? No, she's not. Dengo Phillips, I'm back. Well, thank God for that, mate. We wondered where you were. Life and Life, what part of Douma area do you recommend to stay a few weeks in December?
Maybe.
The cat's doing circles. I don't know why the cat's doing circles. She's determined to knock my camera over, I think. I can't really recommend anywhere, mate. I could recommend a few hotels, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'd stay in Douma if I was you, because once you get up to Valencia, and once you get up into Bekong and that, transport, public transport at night is not a problem. Obviously, you've got a scooter, but you might want to have a drink and things. But I don't think there is a particular area in Douma I'd recommend. I like the Kingswick Hotel. It's very close to Sideways. The rooms there aren't that bad. I mean, obviously, the Henry's nice. You've stayed there before. But it's all swings and roundabouts. I mean, the reality is, there's nowhere you can't get to in Dumaguete. That you can't be there in like 5 minutes in a pedicab or 10 minutes tops or 5 minutes in a scooter. So it doesn't really matter. I just look for a good hotel and a deal. There's not really an area, is there, that's better than others? Ellen's looking, thinking, saying, nah. I mean, a lot of people, most of the hotels are on the boulevard because a lot of people say, and that's where they want to stay. But I mean, yourself, when you were staying here, none of the locals really go out on the boulevard, so why would you want to stay on the boulevard? But I don't know, mate. But, closer to the time, I can tell you some hotels I've stayed at that are all right. They're not going to be as nice as the Henry, but there's no area I would suggest that, is better than another. Marcus Boy Simon, what is the difference between Dumaguete and Iloilo City? Are they similar? Well, I've never been to Iloilo City. I think Iloilo's the one up near Bacolod, isn't it? Yeah. I do know friends who have moved there and come back again and not liked it. As I understand it, I think the basic difference seems to be, and this is just hearsay, not admissible in the court of law. I have never been there. But the consensus was it's a lot moderner, it's bigger, it's got some nice shopping malls. Aesthetically, it's a very nice place, but it doesn't have the expat community and the circles and the things that we've got in Dumaguete. So I know two couples that moved there. One of them lasted, how long did Eric and... Actually, I shouldn't be saying names. Anyway, one of them lasted 6 months, and I think the other one lasted about 8 months, and they came back to Dumaguete. They didn't like it. But that's the thing, I mean, you're always going to meet people who've moved there. Like, I know a lot of people who live here who tried Bacolod and hated it. But as I said to someone in the comments the other day, You know, I'm only going to meet the people that it didn't work out for. I'm sure there are people living in Bacolod and Iloilo who hate Dumagetti and tried it here and didn't like it and moved, but I'm not going to meet them, am I? Because I'm down here. So I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying from what I've heard speaking to people, in terms of infrastructure, it's a lot nicer. It's got malls and all these things, but they're things that don't interest me. But in terms of, they basically just got lonely, both couples. You know, they missed the fact that they, you know, here they are entwined in, you know, in the local community. They play bowls, they play darts, they, you know, go for hikes, and you know, there's lots of things, groups of people you can do that with in Douma. Not so much in Iloilo, I'm led to believe. But as I say, never been, so I'm no expert. Jim Pendergast, we cannot sell back to electricity company here. Well, that's a shame, mate. That's a shame. Because it's not bad. I get the electricity bills for our place, so I know what our landlord gets for it. It's in the time. I think you are right about being safe enough here in the Philippines. The main danger is little vexatious complaints made against you if you stick your head up too far or get into business over here. Yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah, you've got to be careful who you upset. I mean, that can happen, without a doubt. You hear the stories. But I think it's a lot rarer than you think. I know a lot of people who've upset a lot of people and continue to upset a lot of people and have been here a long time, and maybe they're just lucky, you know what I mean? I just think, but you're right. I mean, you've got to, you know, you've got to try and not upset people that matter in the grand scale of things here. But I know for a fact, I mean, I know people immigration and that who work here, and, you know, you get told as soon as someone makes a complaint, that's it, you're blacklisting you out. It's got to be a valid complaint. You know, you can't just go and say that. They want a bit of evidence to support it, and they've got to, like, take that on board before you're in trouble. They don't just, like, this person did that. Okay, right, he's gone, you know. I hope they don't. Trace Blackwell, Les built a good backup solar in Thailand for less than $1,000. Really? Well, that's a backup though, isn't it? $1,000 UK? That seems cheap though. Bacolod people were not at all friendly towards me. I think Iloilo, same vibe. Yeah, see, I don't like to slag places off, but yes, that is what I've heard. I know a Norwegian guy who was in Bacolod, and he got stuck there in COVID, and he said people were telling him to go home. They were blaming him for being in the illness, and he wanted to leave. He said it was the happiest stage of his life living in Bacolod, and he intended to go back to Norway, but he stopped off in Dumagetti on the way, fell in love with the place and never looked back. I know a few people. I don't know the validity of, I mean, I believe him, but a lot of people who go there have said that you're not as welcome in Bacolod and Iloilo as you are here. The Filipinos are not as welcoming, and the expats tend to keep themselves to themselves, and there's not a lot going on in terms of mingling with locals or expats, both in Bacolod and both in Iloilo. Don't shoot the messenger. That's what I've been told. I have not been to either place. Flaming says different mindset there, different language. Yeah, again, that's what I've been. And when I've said to Ellen about going there visiting, she don't want to go there because of the language, and a lot of, yeah, there does seem to be, yeah. Anyway, I haven't got many subscribers. I don't want to upset the few that I've got in Bacolod, assuming I've got any in Bacolod. Then go Phillips. What about the west coast of Douma? The west coast of Douma? Has Douma got a west coast? Do you mean the west coast of Negros Oriental? What about it? I'm a bit confused by that question. I will come back. I mean, I've said it many times, fellas. I can talk about Thailand in terms of the country as a whole more than I can do here. I mean, I'm a very lazy man. There used to be a time when many moons ago, I liked to travel, go here, go there. To me, I'm not particularly interested in, say, hey, we're going to go to Sikihor next month, and Ellen's dragging me there by the short and curlies. I really don't want to go. So, I mean, I've been to Cebu 3 times. That's enough for me. Obviously, we've been to Ellen's place a couple of times now. That's the only time I've really been out of Sikihor. Sorry, out of Dumaguete. You know, I've stayed in Manila twice. I don't know this place. I don't really know. I mean, I've not even been as far as Zamboanga. Really, the furthest I've gone that way is Darwin. I am not an authority, chaps, on the surrounding areas or places to live. But I will put a pen in that, and we will talk about that on the first coffee and a chat, because some of the guys that I'll be inviting to talk about things, they have travelled around this island. They know it very well. Jerry Stanley, Tandung, and speaking of Asia, what more could one want? Mate, how are you? Tandung, I bet you're saying Tanduai. What more could you want indeed, mate? That's what dreams are made of. Glad you feel that way, Jerry. Marcus has retracted two of his comments. Jerry Stanley, damn spell check Tanduai. I worked that one out. Flaming, I rode around Negros Island after living in Duma for a year. Was meant to spend a week there, left early after one day, went past San Carlos, loved San Carlos, rented a place there for a month. Flaming, Bohol is okay. Yeah, I think Bohol, if we do travel to another island, which we will inevitably at some stage, Bohol will be the next one, because it's not too far, and I hear okay things about it. But I find it very hard, to be honest, to get excited about travelling in the Philippines, because it does very much tend to be a case of everywhere's same but different, if you know what I mean. I'd rather go to other countries that I've not been to, or cities I've not been to, in other countries. But the trouble is, we're kind of screwed with the cat and the dog. That's why we got this debate now, whether we go for 1 night or 2 nights in Sikihor. They have become a hell of a bind, these animals. Marcus, am I limited to what size of scooter or motorbike I drive on my full British car licence, Simon? Well, legally yes, theoretically no. You can't drive a licence on your British licence anymore unless you've done, is it your EDB test or whatever it's called? Because I never had those when I took my test. I mean, I took my test back in 1990. You could drive a 125 then, but the police here do not care. If you come here and you've got a British licence, driving licence, whether it's got a motorbike on it or not, they'll rent you a bike, the police stop you. All they'll be interested in is whether you've been here for more than 90 days. Because after 90 days, you're supposed to, well, you can't drive on a UK licence, it only lasts for the first 90 days. So you just say, yes, I've only just arrived, and that won't be a problem. The problem potentially legally is, if you have an accident, will your insurance company pay out? Because they may want to see what your British licence says. But hopefully you won't have one. So legally, no, mate. But if you do come and move over here, when you transfer your British licence over to a Philippines licence, they will give you motorbikes, lorries, buses. They'll give you everything. So you don't have to take a test and over, and then you are legal. I mean, you've got a licence to do it. But theoretically, if you've just got a basic driving licence and you haven't done your motorbike test, then no, theoretically you're not able to. But they really don't care here. As long as you've got a driving licence, that's fine with them. Philippine Dreaming. Hey mate, how are you doing? First live I've caught. Well, welcome aboard. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the party. It's nice that you could make it live. I'm doing very well. I hope you are too. It's end of time. No rules here, Marcus, really. Worst that can happen is a big checkpoint where the officers won't know the first thing about the UK licence you present and will wave you through. That's pretty much how it is, mate, to be honest with you. Life and life. Going to Sikihor with a few friends, couple, is a sort of thing that has me thinking about moving there. People are too busy here for that. Yeah, one thing is people do have a lot of time on their hands here. Jerry Stanley, pet sitting kennels in the US, a big business, a bit expensive, might work here. You know, I was talking to my neighbour about doing that. I think that's a business opportunity. I've thought about doing that. Because I wouldn't mind looking after animals, it'd be fine. It would tie in with a couple of other things I'm thinking about doing. But it involves moving, and we're happy here. I mean, you have to move somewhere, you've got a bit of land, you know, where you can you know, fit the dogs and things. I couldn't really take dogs living in here. But I have thought about that as a business opportunity for someone. Because I've always said to Mark I should start an animal charity, and the two would kind of tie together. Do like the idea eventually of building a place up in the mountains with a few hectares, and like being able to home a few stray dogs and things, give them some land to wander around in. Marcus Boy are brilliant. I wish I could say brilliant in a Glaswegian accent, but I'm not very good at it. Brilliant! I'm not very good at a Northern Irish accent. I'm not good at a Glaswegian accent, unfortunately. There we go. Jack! Are you there, Jack? Jack! You got me? What's happening with this message? Where did you send this message to? I must know. You haven't disappeared like you do sometimes, Jack. Have you? I'm intrigued now. What was the message? My God, Ellen, my chat stopped. I don't know what's going on. Have people left me? Sweetie? She's cocked a deaf one. She's gone Mutt and Jeff. Brilliant. No, that was terrible. That was terrible. Brilliant. No, I sound Welsh. Good God. See, if I was watching a Glasgow movie now, I could do a bit of Jimmy Boyle. You know, I get into it if I can hear, but I'm trying to think what a Scottish accent's like. I've always been good at Irish accents because my parents were Irish. Oh, I think I'm good at it anyway. Frankly Brian, hi Simon, are you going to watch the England game tonight? Hi Frank, how you doing, mate? Yes, I'm going over to... yes, I'll be going out just before midnight. I'm going to go to a local bar and I'm going to watch it with some British mates. And hopefully won't get knocked out. I got a good Dutch mate. I was talking to him and Ewan who owns Sideways on, you know, the bar do the quiz. He's South African. So of course once South Africa went out, he jumped on the Dutch bandwagon, being the old, you know, the old Boer connection. And they were both, well, he was supremely confident the other night that Holland were going to win it. And they went and got knocked out. So that's the thing about the World Cup. You can't count your chickens. You know, we could go out tonight. But I hope not. I've never seen us win a World Cup. Paul 8612. Does anyone remember 1966? 1966. What happened in 1966? Martin 1 and Jeffrey 3. Oh, West Ham beat West Germany. I don't remember it, mate, because I was born in 1971. But I am well aware that West Ham won the World Cup in 1966. Living life from what I put that in the quiz once. You know, who is the only English Premier League football team to have won the World Cup? No one really got it. Living life, from what I understand, insurance won't cover if you don't have a motorcycle endorsement on your licence, including travel insurance. Yeah, that's basically what I said. Yeah, you're right, mate. Yeah. I mean, listen, it depends on the insurance company. I mean, some people, I've heard insurance companies have been good and they've paid out when they had ways of getting out of it. Other companies, I think they'll look for an excuse. Were you wearing flip-flops? You know, they want the blood sugar. You know what I mean? It depends on the company. I think invariably how much you paid for the policy. But yeah, I mean, as a rule, they won't. If you've not got the endorsement on there, you're not, you know, yeah. But you're fair enough. I mean, you can't, you know, it is. But I mean, I don't have insurance now, so it's not really an issue. But if I did have insurance, they'd have to cover me because I've got a Filipino license. But then again, I wear flip-flops. And I've heard before, if you're wearing flip-flops on a bike, they won't cover you. So, you know, the question would be, how do they know what you're wearing on your feet? Because I'm quite sure if you slipped the doctor a couple of pesos, flip-flops would not enter the report. You know what I mean? Jim Pendergrass, yes, remember it well, 1966. British Filipina, every time I've logged on, you're doing a live. Every time I log on, you're doing a live. Just passing through, how are you, mate? Just booked 2-month trip back in 2028. Let me know if you want anything bringing over from the UK. Just booked my 2-month trip back in 2028. That's, do you know what I mean, 2027? 2028's like 2 years away. I thought you were coming this December, mate. Have I got that mixed up? That's a long way away. No, it is. I've just seen your next comment. Only 18 months to go, LOL. Wow, I thought you were there before, mate. Thanks for the offer. I've got a long time to think about it. Frankly Brian, only Jeff Hurst alive from the 66 team. Yeah, that's true, that's true. Yeah, well, I mean, Sir Bobby passed away, God rest him, a long time ago. Finest Englishman that ever lived, Bobby Moore, Sir Bobby Moore. But yeah, Martin Peters passed away. Was it last year or the year before? But yeah, I saw Martin. See, the trouble is I say, was it last year or the year before? That's one of those things where it might have been 3 or 4 years ago. Because I find now, you must all agree, you'll find something happened 4 months ago, feels like it happened 5 years ago. And something happened like 5 years ago, feels like it happened 2 months ago. But yeah, I know he passed. So yeah, it is Jeff Hurst. And I think his health is not the best these days. Because he was a clever guy, Jeff Hurst. He went on to do a lot in business. I think he went into printing or something like that. But he's made a few quid. He made a lot more money outside football than he did playing football. But yeah, Jeff Hurst, he fell out with the old West Ham ownership, Sullivan and that. He didn't come to the Boleyn closing down and all that. Maybe now we got new ownership, he might get back a bit involved. But I'm sure I've heard his health ain't the best. My chat has dried up again. My chat has dried up and my coffee has run out. So unless people start talking to me, I will knock it on the head. Because hate staring at a dead screen. And I'm getting hungry. And I haven't had my dinner. Right, well, where's the chat? I'm going to go. Sorry to cut out just after you've just joined British Filipina, but I have been going for an hour and 40 minutes. Jack is going to leave me in suspense because I still don't know what this message was or where it went to. Thank you so much, Tim, if you're still there, for the very generous super chats, and thank you for you, Jack. Generous as ever, mate. Much appreciated. If you are still here and you haven't smashed the like button, it would be fantastic if you did. Oh, yeah, I'm holding on because I do like to chat just in case someone else says something, but no one's going to say anything, are they? I don't know if my laptop's frozen or what, but I have not had a comment for the best part of a couple of minutes now, and people are disappearing. So it's time to go. Well, thanks for joining us, chaps. I'm going to spend the next couple of hours listening to the old England songs. I should have done that. If we were staying longer, I'd have asked. I'll do it on the next one. Which is your favourite England song? But anyway, yeah, I'm going to check out, guys. Thanks for joining us. I'm not joking when I say this. It's you that makes it possible. I couldn't do a live without a live chat, and you are the chatters. So anyway, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, it would be fantastic if you did. But whether you do or whether you don't, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe and be lucky.